How were secret offerings hidden in pre-Columbian art? Imagine discovering a sculpture that seems ordinary at first glance, but hidden inside are clues to ancient rituals and secret messages. That's the fascinating world of pre-Columbian art. These artworks, made by indigenous peoples of the Americas before Europeans arrived, served more than just decoration. They played a vital role in religious, social, and political life. One of the most intriguing aspects is how these cultures hid offerings within their art, turning everyday objects into secret communication tools with the divine. Pre-Columbian cultures believed art was a bridge between humans and spirits. Sculptures and objects weren't just visual, they were active parts of rituals. Sometimes, offerings like jade beads, shells, or figurines were placed inside or beneath sculptures, hidden from plain sight. These concealed items were meant to stay unseen by the living, acting as secret gifts to ancestors or gods. It was believed that the spiritual power of an offering increased when it was hidden away, making the act of concealment itself a sacred act. Take the Olmec civilization, for example. At the site of La Venta, archaeologists found deposits called offerings that weren't always visible on the surface. One example, offering number 4, included stone figures arranged in a scene, with polished stone axes called celts forming a backdrop. The scene might depict a ritual or a meeting of important figures, but the real message was probably meant for the spiritual realm, not just human viewers. The arrangement suggests a hidden story or message meant to connect with divine forces. In many cases, objects like jade beads, shells, or small figurines were buried under floors, inside temple foundations, or within hollow sculptures. These caches were meant to stay hidden from everyday view, acting as secret links to ancestors or gods. The act of hiding the offerings was as important as the objects themselves. It was believed that the spiritual value of the offering grew when it was kept out of sight, making the concealment a sacred act. Materials like jade and gold carried special meanings. Jade, prized for its color and durability, symbolized life and fertility. Burying jade objects as offerings connected them to ideas of renewal and the earth's creative power. Gold, especially in Andean cultures, was seen as a link between the earthly and divine worlds. Gold objects were often placed in tombs or sacred sites as hidden gifts to the gods, emphasizing their spiritual importance. Different cultures had their own ways of hiding offerings. The Maya, for example, sealed ceramic vessels with offerings inside and placed them in buildings or under altars. In the Andes, metalwork and textiles were buried with the dead or hidden in sacred landscapes. The choice of what to offer, how to hide it, and where to place it was guided by local beliefs, social status, and the intended recipient, whether a deity, ancestor, or natural force. Looking at these practices from a global perspective, we see similarities with other ancient traditions. For example, Egyptians buried grave goods with their dead, and medieval Christians hid relics in churches. What makes pre-Columbian examples special is how these hidden offerings were part of a larger system of symbols. Animals, natural elements, and deities all played roles in conveying messages beyond what was visible. When you see a pre-Columbian sculpture today, remember it might have been more than just art. It could have been a vessel for secret offerings, a way to communicate with unseen worlds. These hidden messages reminded us that, in these ancient cultures, art was not only for the eye but also a tool for spiritual connection. Recognizing this adds a new layer of meaning to these incredible works and helps us understand how art can serve as a bridge between the visible and invisible realms.